Mark 1, Iron Man 2, 2010. The Mark 1 was the suit that made the world realize War Machine wasn't Iron Man's backup and it was born from an argument. Tony's drunken birthday party went sideways fast. Rhodey grabbed the Mark 2 off a rack, suited up, and physically fought him to a standstill. He walked out, still wearing it, handed it to the Air Force, and then Justin Hammer got involved. Despite everything Hammer represents, overconfidence and bad demos, the weapons package was genuinely intimidating. A back-mounted M134 minigun at 6,000 rounds per minute, dual FN F-20,000 assault rifles on the wrists, a Milcor MGL grenade launcher, and the Sidewinder missile hammer lovingly called the ex-wife. That nickname tells you everything about his product quality. It's called being a badass Rhodes peak energy at Stark Expo. Vanko hijacked the suit and turned Rhodey into a weapon against his own best friend. Once Natasha broke the override, they crossed repulsors and obliterated Whiplash in one shot. First team up, already iconic. Tony stripped every piece of Hammer's work afterward. Rhodey was getting something better. Mark II, Iron Man 2 to Age of Ultron, 2010 to 2015. The Mark II is the first suit Tony Stark built for Rhodey from scratch, calibrated specifically for James Rhodes, and it showed you James Rhodes are never wearing the Mark II armor again because I made this for you instead. Tony had admitted post-battle that the original Mark II could have killed Rhodey. Wrong biometrics, wrong calibration, wrong everything, so the dedicated Mark II was built around Rhodey's physiology from day one. The fit alone was a meaningful upgrade. Under the hood, a back-mounted twin-barreled machine gun on a V-track, articulating arm, concealed forearm miniguns, wrist-mounted missile pods, and the Stark sonic cannon. A specialized last resort weapon, generating audio frequencies, capable of incapacitating unshielded targets in close quarters. This was Stark engineering in full, no Hammer compromise. In terms of story beats, the Mark II's biggest role wasn't in a single battle. It was in demonstrating that Rhodey was now officially Tony's peer in the field, not just a government liaison in borrowed tech. He showed up at the Battle of Sokovia in Age of Ultron under this loadout as an established Avenger, suppressing Ultron's drones alongside the full team. It was a reliable workhorse, but what came next almost broke the legacy of everything it stood for. Iron Patriot, Iron Man 3, 2013. The Iron Patriot was the moment the US government looked at War Machine and said, cool suit, but can we make it less threatening? The Pentagon didn't build a new suit. They took the War Machine Mark II, handed it over to Aldrich Killian's AIM-connected operation, and ordered a rebrand. Same chassis, same Stark-engineered internals, just freshly repainted red, white, and blue, and rechristened Iron Patriot as a public-facing media symbol designed to project heroism on cue. A star-spangled propaganda machine, essentially. Under the Patriot paint, the weapon's loadout was refined from the Mark II base: twin wrist-mounted guns, repulsor palms, shoulder-mounted cannon. However, the sonic cannon and the experimental systems were stripped out in favor of a tighter government-controlled spec. It was built to look heroic on camera, not to win a war. The defining and most chilling what moment came when Killian's operative Eric Savin lured Rhodey out of the armor under false pretenses, ambushed him, and climbed inside it himself. The Iron Patriot was hijacked, used to board Air Force One, murdered the president's security detail, then stuffed President Ellis inside it like a human package and delivered him directly into Killian's hands. My suit? Rhodey's face said everything without a single line of exposition. That quiet devastation hit harder than any action sequence. After Tony destroyed Killian and dismantled the Mandarin plot, the Iron Patriot name was quietly retired, because you can't unsteal a man's identity twice. Rhodey stripped it back to gunmetal gray, and by Age of Ultron, War Machine was back. And this time, nobody was touching the name War Machine Mark III, Captain America Civil War 2016. The Mark III gave War Machine its most tank-like presence in the entire MCU, and it nearly killed Rhodey in the process. This was a total ground-up redesign. The frame is noticeably heavier and more imposing than the Mark II, built explicitly for a post-Ultron world where potential enemies now included enhanced individuals, not just conventional threats. The helmet received a more streamlined, rounded profile. Targeting systems were significantly upgraded with improved multi-thread tracking. For close quarters engagement, the suit gained an electric stun baton, a non-lethal crowd control option that actually showed some tactical growth from the shoot-everything approach of the earlier suits. The shoulder cannon received improved range and precision. This was a military man's answer to the Avengers arms race. The Leipzig airport battle was its proving ground, one of the most visually spectacular sequences in any Marvel film. War Machine was the most imposing presence on Team Iron Man, suppressing Falcon, hunting Ant-Man across the tarmac, and coordinating suppressive fire while Cap's team scrambled for the Quinjet. Rhodey was everywhere. Then Vision fired a Mind Stone beam to intercept Falcon, missed, and it hit War Machine dead center in the chest. Flight systems gone 300 feet up. Tony dove immediately. He wasn't fast enough. Rhodey hit the ground and didn't get up. The Mark III was destroyed on impact. Rhodes was left with permanent spinal damage. That moment, quiet, accidental, devastating, changed the entire trajectory of his story. Mark IV, Avengers, Infinity War, 2018. If the Mark III was a tank, the Mark IV was an entire mobile weapons platform, and it came with a heartbreaking addition that Rhodey never asked for. After the fall at Leipzig, the spinal damage was permanent. Tony built Rhodey an exoskeleton brace for daily mobility, a visible reminder of that fall every time he got dressed. The Mark IV was engineered around this new reality, with the exoskeleton integrated directly into the suit's entry system, so Rhodey could transition from civilian mode to full combat armor without losing mobility or requiring assistance. That single design decision says everything about Tony Stark's actual priorities when it came to his best friend. The suit itself traded the sheer bulk of the Mark III for smarter engineering, enhanced agility, a fully upgraded threat tracking suite, and a completely redesigned back-mounted digital camouflage missile pod capable of releasing precision-guided salvos in a single coordinated sequence. A direct and devastating evolution over the Mark III's fixed cannon. The wrist-mounted weapons were refined, and the overall silhouette was sleeker, more purposeful. The Battle of Wakanda was the Mark IV's defining hour. When Thanos' Outrider army overwhelmed the vibranium shield barrier and flooded the field, War Machine became an anchor, firing from altitude, coordinating with Cap, Thor, T'Challa, and the Dora Milaje. He did everything right. Thanos snapped, half the universe vanished. Rhodey survived the decimation. The Mark IV was still standing, but winning a battle is very different from winning a war. Cosmic Iron Patriot, Avengers, Endgame 2019. The Cosmic Iron Patriot is what a suit looks like when you spend 5 years building it for a war you know is coming and you're not sure you'll survive it. Tony didn't build this one over a weekend. The Mark V was developed across the entire 5-year gap between the decimation and the Endgame mission, engineered with post-snap technological breakthroughs, and for the first time in Rhodey's career, alien-influenced engineering integrated into the frame. The color scheme shifted to deep blues and vivid reds, nodding to the Iron Patriot era. But this time, the name means something. The Endgame production script officially labels it the Cosmic Iron Patriot. That name alone tells you what the suit was designed for. The Mark V is, by a significant margin, the most heavily armed suit James Rhodes ever wore. The back-mounted system upgraded from a single minigun to dual double-barreled cannons. Both forearms carried additional gun systems. Shoulder and back missile launchers could fire precision salvos. Forearm micro-missile arrays added another 4 to 5 guided projectiles per arm. And crucially, the suit was confirmed to be spacefaring capable, making it the first War Machine armor designed to function in the vacuum of space. No other Rhodey suit could claim that. The defining moment was the final Battle of Earth. Rhodey was initially pinned underground in the rubble of the destroyed Avengers compound, still inside the damaged Mark VI. It was Scott Lang who located the Cosmic Iron Patriot, pulled it from the debris, and handed it over. Rhodes suited up and flew back into the fight at the exact moment every dusted Avenger returned through the Sorcerer's portals. Avengers, assemble. He was already in the air when that line landed. He earned that moment. Mark VI Time Heist Armor, Avengers, Endgame 2019. The Mark VI is the most technically advanced armor James Rhodes ever wore, and it was built for a mission that had never been attempted in human history. Tony spent 5 years developing quantum realm travel theory into practical application, and the Mark VI reflects every hour of that work, where the Cosmic Iron Patriot was a fortress of weapons. The Mark VI is sleek, forward-thinking, and precision-engineered. It incorporates Stark nanotechnology into War Machine's frame for the very first time, bringing Rhodey's suit fully in line with Tony's own bleeding-edge nano armor. No more external weapon mounts, this wasn't military engineering anymore. This was physics bending, next-generation armor built for a one-time only operation. The Mark VI was also fully quantum realm integrated, allowing Rhodey to travel through time alongside the Avengers during the time heist. His mission, 2014 Morag, retrieved the Power Stone before Thanos' past self could reach it. Rhodey handled it with the same cool, tactical precision he always brings, cracking that dry military composure just enough to let you know he was aware of how insane the situation was. Does nobody else think this is completely nuts? The Mark VI was ultimately damaged when Thanos' past self bombarded Avengers HQ from orbit, collapsing the facility and burying the surviving Avengers in rubble. It was inside that wreckage that Scott found the cosmic Iron Patriot and passed it to Rhodey for the final battle. The Mark VI didn't survive, but the man wearing it did. And that's the whole point. Drop a comment right now which War Machine suit is your all-time favorite. And do you think Rhodey was the most underrated Avenger in the entire MCU? And if you haven't already, like, subscribe and hit the bell. We've got a lot more MCU lore coming and you do not want to miss it.